Okay, taking a look.
Freedom's Progress Colony, a regional
Good.
hub of Asari commerce awash in riches. Ilium is infamous for its abusive labor practices and legalization of nearly everything except murder. As such, Ilium is the preferred production site for weapons and pharmaceuticals that would be illegal nearly everywhere else, made even more lucrative by legal indentured servitude. Among the biotics-related pharmaceutical producers is the Dantius Corporation, a rising star in galactic commerce. Despite the dangers of its products, Ilium is renowned for glamour, luxury, and safety, provided by near-total surveillance, making it a favored tourist destination. Countless celebrities maintain palatial estates on Ilium and in its capital, Nos Astra. The sole obstacle to business on Ilium is its extensive bureaucracy, tolerated only for its provision of security. Regardless of the character of its economy, Ilium's self-congratulatory media exalts its own society with the provincial arrogance of new money, glorifying in sexiest CEOs and 10 richest residents lists. Nope, originally an asteroid, a regional hub of Asari commerce awash in riches. Freedom's The Collector's particle, still in its experimental stages, the M622 Avalanche generates a Bose-Einstein condensate within a mass effect bubble, which dissipates on impact, violently spraying the condensate outward and coating the target in a near absolute zero superfluid. The Avalanche is unreliable, at times merely coating its target with ice, defacing exposed skin and freezing armor joints. Such low temperatures cause great damage to electronics like kinetic barrier emitters, which sometimes leads to total systems failure. At the other extreme, the Avalanche freezes flesh and bone, causing massive trauma as blood vessels constrict and frozen blood expands. Occasionally, such iced tissue shatters. The
I'm guessing it's this one. Yarat, Adat, Yakshu, Demon of the Nightwing. Arthar is suffering from a genetic disorder, preventing conventional mammalian the nervous system during mating. Instead, they electrocognitively ravage their partner's nervous system, in cases leaving the victims as vegetables. Invalids or corpses. Psychologists, regardless incapacity for mental fuseness, preventing the development of empathy, leading to psychopathy. There's no cure. The disorder generally begins in infancy, reaching full pathology during mating, adolescent sexual development, while seductive and sexually driven as other Asari, they're definitively sterile. Ancient Asari mythology held them as gods of destruction, depicting them as villains of countless legends and the anti-heroes of numerous Asari epics. Contrary to popular belief, Asari are neither extremely rare. Around 1% of Asari dwell on the AY spectrum, nor are they all murderers. Also, discard countless murderers or abusive relationships during their legally marginal lives. But rumors of hierarchy prove by nature they are capable of monochrome operation. as disproportionately wealthy species, Asari employ their economic reach and media ownership to hide the AY pathology from the galactic community, placing most archaeology and monitor work programs as subject pollution. Only the most aggressive cases are sentenced to sanitaria and prisons or the execution lists of justifiers. Drell are omnivorous, no longer speak routes. Reptile-like humanoids with average lifespans of about 85 galactic standard years. They give live birth to their young, who are capable of eating solid food in moment. Their appearance is very similar to Asari humans, but their muscle tissue is slightly denser than that of humans, giving them a wiry strength. Any of their more reptilian creatures are concealed. Like a three-chambered heart, with muscular ridge that is capable of sensing oxygen or deoxygenated blood as needed. One unique characteristic is the hydroid bone in their throats, which allows them to inflate their throats and produce vocal sounds outside human range. Would-be assassins have been noted these two features make Drell extremely hard to strangle or suffocate. Because of the Drell ancestors emerged from arid rocky desert, the humid ocean-covered Hanar world of Taiji, tolerable only when the Drell stay inside climate-controlled dome city. Due to this huge disparity in the two species' hormonal environments, the leading cause of death among Drells is a bacterial lung disease called Crepelson. The third generation of the Drells arrival on the planet, the disease had become resistant to Hanara antibiotics and other advanced treatments. Once an infection settles in, death is slow but imminent. Transplants may buy time, but as the infection spreads to the other major organs, there comes a point of diminishing returns and eventual system failure. Why do they live there, then? It seems like maybe they should move. What are you doing? Hey. Hang on a second. You okay? Hey. You okay? Come here. You alright? about that. Okay. Nuclear secret. Nothing's impossible, says the headline propaganda poster that depicts a muscular Bataran miner under a hot sky. His leader held away from his mask as if he'd just taken it off. And he sums up millions of man-hours of labor on the Batarian planet and represents or misrepresents much of its history. 2 decades ago, Aratash, like several planets in the Skyland Verge, was claimed both by human and Batarian governments, but the Alliance backed out after learning the atmosphere's dangerously low pressure and oxygen levels. Instead, they concentrated their colonial efforts on planets that could support human life without the aid of domed habitats and rebreathers. Hearing down its code as a wise move, Batarians saw it as cowardly. Batarians rose to the challenge, shipping in large numbers of laborers. They took high financial costs and casualties due to accidents, while logistical snafus in stride. Large-scale dumping of cyanobacteria has increased the oxygen in the atmosphere by a fraction of 1%, a modest increase that the hegemony triumphs is a sign of their eventual victory. Short-term profits on Aeronaut are largely made in the mineral sector through mining extremely enriched planetary crusts. The darker side of mining does not appear in the propaganda poster. The majority of the laborers are industrious servant slaves. They're rumored to have military births on the surface and throughout the solar system. Their details are heavily restricted by the hegemon's Minister of Information Control. Human merchant ships rarely come to the planet, outcompeted by local companies that benefit from the heavy economic protections. The average citizen only sees humans on the news, usually featured in stories of trials and execution of spies. Like 2 beautiful moons, 1 spectacular ring, 0 neighbors. There's a popular advertisement for this terminus system world. Okay. Known for its sparsely settled population, despite being a garden planet, the colony nearly a century old. Less with a mild climate, wildlife no more dangerous than on Earth, and soil and bacteria amenable to imported plants, they appear to be in its unexploited paradise. However, it is unpopular for 2 reasons. First and most obvious is that the moon, they say, is an unstable orbit that will lead to planetary impact and extinction level event within the next 2 centuries. As such, all investments in the planet is short term, and the biggest business selling off the local biotas to the highest bidder. Second drawback is the level of violence on the planet. Like the rest of Phoenix Mass and Cluster, Ita was briefly considered part of the solar space during its first wave of colonization. However, when the colony broke off to become an independent planet in 2133, Council let the doomed planet go with less than a day of debate. Free from any real governing body, its history has been since filled with wars from small frontier town city-states over its resources. The result is a dangerous world where the average citizen is expected to be self-reliant to the point of fending for themselves against tech corporations, strong-armed military groups, and even death incursions. The fighting is so frequent that the name of the planet itself has changed to more than 11 times. In a sign of blunt indifference, standard Sodelica to map refer to the world by the name giving it to by the human colonists in the latter half of the century. There's a lot here. Alright. This feels like it was like... Okay. So like I mentioned, these diplomatic talks occurred in the wake of Krogan rebellions, a response to the destruction of conflict and an attempt to distance the Council from the brutal Krogan warfare. How you doing, baby girl? The conventions regulate the use of weapons of mass destruction. The WMD causes an environmental alteration to a world. A bomb that produces a large crater is not considered WMD. A bomb that causes nuclear winter is. Use of it is forbidden on garden worlds like Earth. Ecospheres that can rally support a population. The habitable world is destroyed. It cannot be replaced for millions of years. Conventions do not forbid the use of WMDs on hostile worlds or in sealed space station environments. Many militaries continue to develop and maintain stockpiles. Convention rated weapons of mass destruction and security is concerned. The Tier 1 is the greatest threat to galactic peace. Tier 1 kinetic incapsulators such as asteroid drops. I feel like I read this in the first game. It was basically just going on how the different ways don't destroy a planet, you know? Let's see. Council is executive committee composed of Asari, Turian, and Solarians. Okay, I think that too is the same as it was in first game. Little space. Is the area by the Citadel, I'm guessing, and acknowledges the authority of the council. Yeah. How do you? Okay, I think that's the same as well. Security and service. Okay, I think this last paragraph is new. CSEC inspectors are often at odds. Many CSEC members, notably Executor Veneri Paladin, believe that allowing inspectors to be above the law is dangerous practice. Action of Saren led to current position. Inspectors in turn are aggravated when CSEC's dedication to procedure, improved process, hampers the investigation. Undersides the wards, creating inhabited superstructures. Only the keepers are allowed in the Foundation. In reality, they are the slums of the Citadel, home to criminals, minorities, translates, and stateless exiles. Others end up here when the Sodden Citadel the stations recycling system are located in the Foundations. These manufacture a variety of artificial organic pastes that can be eaten for substance. They are free and nutritious, but nearly tasteless and of an unpleasant texture. Poor Citadel residents quickly become adept at dressing this bland fare up with sauces and spices, while imported foodstuffs are popular luxury as coffee. You're going to leave the rest of the Citadel because I was looking at the different things you can do yesterday, and I realized that there's actually a bunch of stuff kind of near where we are, so I have made a plan of attack for our next missions. We should be going to some towns and getting some jobs done over that way. And then if we're spiraling out in that direction, which I think it's Jacob next and Samara. Although I might want to take a Mass Effect thingy over to where Grunt would be. We'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna save the Citadel for later. Just because there's a lot going on at the Citadel, so like, when I get to the Citadel, I'll be stuck doing Citadel stuff for a while. Not a problem, the Citadel's probably gonna be a good time, but I figure let's do all the more wide-ranging things first. But I'm trying to see if there's anything important in here in the meantime. Let's see. I'm not sure what's happening. You. Artificial intelligence. Let's see. Creation of ciphers codes, so expensive education and specialized quantum computer called the Blue Box. AI can't be transmitted across a communication channel or network. Without its Blue Box, AI is no more than its data files. Loading these files into a new Blue Box will create a new personality as variations in the quantum hardware and runtime results create unpredictable variations. Gets serve as a cautionary tale of AI, and Citadel Space, they are technically illegal. Everything groups argue, however, that AI is living. Conscious entities determine the same rights for their guidance. I agree. They argue that the use of the term artificial is institutionalized racism and part of the organic life on the part of the The term synthetic is considered more politically correct alternative. Okay. Operating alternatives is when you treat it like a shot controller, right? It's a shot controller. Some computing have done away with the different keyboard. This is saying that basically everybody defeated Tony Stark's most of their equipment. Holograms are involved here. Oh. Yep. Oh no. Okay. Oh no. Undo it. Virtual intelligence simulates natural intelligence, but it's a simulation. It's not the same as sentience. That's what they're saying. So we ran into a VI. Is it the Citadel? Versus ED is a synthetic intelligence system. Wait, what? Reconstructions of famous historical persons are common. Living ones are software emulating living personalities, really. Standard credit. Hard currency can be stolen or counterfeited. Electronic currency transfers are the norm. More important, physically, transactions cannot be easily tracked, making them ideal for tax evasion or the purchase of illegal goods. In the Alliance joining Citadel, its various national treasure were linked to the credit network. A human with bank account of Mexican pesos, Japanese yen, or Indian rupees can purchase any item priced in credits. Fair market value. All companies that participating in the credit network are required to price items in both local and credit. Drones are small robots that shoot me. All modern armies rely on little fleets of these guys. You shoot me. Usually referred to as wings, deploy the assault gun wings. Common soldiers often referred to friendly formations as flocks and enemy formations as swords. Security myth. Death of thousands of security and military personnel in the Battle of Citadel was lost. Felt that the galaxy allows large numbers of qualified personnel transferred to Citadel to replace those attached. Short-handed security companies filled out their numbers with large-scale use of unmanned security robots. Sometimes referred to as NETs. Security robots are typically grouped. So that's why we've been seeing so many of those robot goes. Like the dogs and the people-sized ones. Typical Mech has a 2 million virtual intelligence. From the Pro program, he reported the voice commands. Facing unemployment, just immediately shooting. They are frowned upon for actual military duty. They're tough enough to survive most firefights. Their VI simply does not have the programming to plan an ambush, rescue a hostage, shoot a ruin, or countless other objectives that are sold in the field. Alright. Oh, so many. We'll come back. Or maybe like I could keep going. And then this one is just gonna all be, let's make this one all this and then the acronym last one. Okay. But I am gonna try and summarize. Workhorse Commission A Bouncer Drive Monsis is a 2-man vector thrust aircraft that sells in close air support roles. So like a TIE fighter. It is like a TIE fighter, but it doesn't have a. I do believe that TIE fighters don't have the ability to go to hyperspace. Just look at the picture. I mean, you have a block up there for pictures. I don't have pictures for this. Like, there's some details. It's so weird that they don't also include a picture, right? Especially when it's like talking about something specific. Like, most of the stuff has stuff that's examples. Things. So it's fast, but it can't go too fast and light. Okay. Fast and light. This looks like it's exactly the same as the old one from the first game. Again, that looks like the same as the last one. Drive charge. This is all about the discharging. Yep, same as last time. Fearless stuff. Right. This is a newer, faster liquid H2/O2. Now you just can execute in a small course correction. You can get long distance travel without fear of exhaustion the physical play. Net gain sends forward impulse as well. If powered by antiprotons, can coast temporarily using Helios to reach inferior but highly sustainable speed. Such efficiency lowers antiproton consumption constantly. I guess I should be paying attention to it a little more. We are flying around. This looks like exactly the same as the first one, okay. And gotta be able to see it, right? Okay. And this one is practical to garrison fire comfortable. Fortunately, colonization efforts tend to focus on building it as we do. Let's see. I think that was. And in sunlight, sensors cannot detect objects moving at fast enough speed. No ship can be detected at interstellar ranges. Detection interplanetary ranges suffers from light speed lag. Observers see ships not where they appear to be, but where they were in light bearing their image less than minutes, hours, or days before. To counteract light speed lag, battlefields surround themselves with spheres of screening and scouting for ships. Pursuers cannot detect ships and directly intercept them. Instead, pursuers track where objects were, where they are heading, and what speed they're moving. Such data reliably predicts the future location of the pursuit along flight lag away. Ships try to evade pursuit, follow a erratic zigzag course, requiring pursuers to make stops to update their trajectory. Crucial trust for any attack from a mass relays is how to divide the fleet for transport. The accuracy of a relay's mass projection depends on the mass being moved and how far it's going. Any long distance or high mass jump will see drift. That is, a shift may be hundreds or millions of kilometers from its intended drop point in any direction from the relay. Distance can't be chosen by admirals, but relay is told how much mass to transit. For example, if told to move 1 million metric tons of mass, the relay will scan the approach corridor, find 4 freighters, transport them together, and maintain their relative positions. The commander has the option of moving his fleet as one large coherent formation that might be wildly or fictitious, or breaking it up into smaller formations that were individually close to the intended attacker but could be wildly dispersed. Interesting. Conservative assault doctrine holds the fleet should be moved en masse, maintaining concentration of force and reducing the chance of collision. Only time it is reasonable to split up a formation is during blockade runs. All races provide their fleet with organic fighter support, cruisers. Let's see. So humans were the first to build ships wielding fighters as the main armament. In fleet combat, carriers stay clear of the battle, launching fighters, banning the shepherd grid of fighters. Primary shocking power of a ship carries mass accelerator. I think this is it is possible to recover and rearm fighters during combat, though most carriers seal the flight deck to try and stay out of the way. The flight deck is essentially a quarter through the armor and into the heart of the vessel. A single well-placed torpedo is enough to gut it. Alliance carriers are named after great leaders, artists, or intellectuals within mysteries. Let's see. Having give each individual 10 metric cubic space in larger vessels, pirate rooms are common. As ships get smaller, the number of crew packed into a single wardroom increases. Sorry, prefer shared spaces even on large vessels, while Krogan territorial instincts make it impossible for them to cohabit even on the smaller ships. On smaller vessels, hot bunking is the norm. Crew assigned to different watches share the same bunk. When one gets off duty, he wakes up in the person's bunk. When that person is on duty, the first gets his rest. Spacecraft compartments can be isolated by airtight doors in case of decompression. The simulation of explosive decompression is fiction. The hold compartments either take enough damage that the occupants are killed instantly, or the leak slowly enough that they are able to reach protected gear. That's good. compartments are equipped with emergency life support apparatus, fireport, fireproof, plastic bubbles. Are you sitting on the snack food button on purpose? Or are you taking a nap? It looks like you're taking a nap. Apartment equipped with emergency life support. What? Fireproof plastic bowls with air bottles. Small and stowed. Also comfortably accommodates one individual. Rated damage control cuts off ventilation to burn compartments without oxygen consumed the fire or dies in sections. The compartment is depressurized to post through. Mass effect fields prevent the bone atrophy and stuff you'd see in 0G because they have a artificial gravity. Large vessels arrange their decks perpendicular to the axial thrust. Higher decks are at the bow or lower skin, as well as an anti-grav to work within the inertial effects of thrust. Oh, just they can land. Arrange their decks slightly so the crew can move about while the vessel is on the Warships normally turn off their air grav during combat. That's fun. To help navigate, the floors are painted a different color than the walls and ceiling. Oh, I like that. Cruisers. Mm-hmm. I think this is something that it's just talking about a particular ship size. We need to go into the ground detail. Fighters. This is definitely, I want to say definitely wasn't the first one. Heat management. I think this too was in the first one. Sensors. Light. You talked about this in the other one. This is just kind of going into detail on what kind of sensors there are. Yeah. Okay, good. Thrusters, I'm pretty sure that was in the first one. Yeah, they definitely did. Kinetic barriers. This one also, I think. Are you doing that on purpose? Because you're not moving. Are you trying to do that? Do you want us now? I think I just. Alright, where were we? I think this one too. And yeah, I think that one is off. Weapons guarded. people, but it sounds like they're just essentially space torpedoes. Yeah. And mass ability provide. This is shooting space bullets. Alright. Complete with recoil. Complete with recoil. Yeah. Okay. That's not much. Nice. Control of moon by secondhand sources. References to islands have been found at several. The Ios was the place where we went to at the end game, so I don't think we actually had this. As lies in a remote area of the Terminus system, Onyx system had legendary in the movie. 4,000 years ago, we did a nothing as positioned by supernova cluster have been inaccessible. Occasionally, the universally will organize an expedition to charter route to island using conventional PL drive. These never get beyond the planning stages due to the distance and the danger. The journey could take years or decades, passing through the hostile Terminus system in presence of unexplored systems. Purgatory is an arc ship. It's correct. Originally arc ship carried agricultural aircraft. It was taken by the Blue Sun Military Company during a large-scale battle in the Skyline Verge. In a years-long reconstruction of its leaf interior, they repurposed it to hold safety at prisoners, supposedly because they captured so many in the conflict throughout the valley. The media outlets started investigating claims that the ship was used for slaving operations. Blue Sun turned it into public relations nightmare. Into a regular infantry service. Claiming that to be in full accordance with Citadel law, the crew of the Purgatory now regularly land some planets or space stations, claiming that they can no longer hold their prisoners because of cost overruns. To avoid keeping prisoners under inhumane conditions, they will have to release them. They report dumping the scum of the ice directly into the local population. Faced with a scenario, the government usually grants them massive discounts on fuel, food, and repairs as long as they go away. Some even offload their own prisoners to Purgatory for a fee, fearful to have a problem relocated somewhere other than their backyard. Such unfortunate go in the dark depths of the ship, never be seen again by the families or contracts. Purgatory is minimally armed with guardian defenses, though a cruiserweight ship relies on the Blue Sun's fighters to prevent any attacks. Bent on a jailbreak or similar event. Irmian is the West World. This is where Ashley passed away. Citadel has open negotiations to settle it with the various criminal gangs and petty dictatorships that rule in the nearby Terminus systems. All fell apart due to internal power shifts within opposing parties. The Citadel has written off colonization of Varamir as impossible without significant political change. The Terminus powers themselves are unlikely to ever settle. They most lack the resources to support a settlement of the Virgin World, finding it more expedient to steal from their neighbors than build for themselves. Fornax. Launched in 2167, Fornax magazine described itself as the galaxy's finest xenophilia. By its 5th year, Fornax became the first human magazine to offer full 5th-century simulation of previously unaffordable magazine technology, made profitable by the economy of scale. With a monthly publishing run of 127 million available in both hard copy and direct download, Fornax offers a range of alien models with particular emphasis on the unisexual Asari, though both genders of Quarian, Drell, Bataran, and Volus are regularly depicted. Specialty editions such as Eclor and Chrogasm. Service devoted but smaller markets. I see. Yogg. The Yogg are a race of massive apex predators from a world of Karnak whose rise to sentience in no way blunted their violent nature. A group of Yogg is unable to cooperate until a single leader has been determined through either social maneuvering or brute force, and no grudges are held once the Yogg established its dominance. Orwell served their new superior's purpose with unflinching loyalty and relentless determination, a legacy of their origin as a pack species. Their 8 eyes are another sign of their hunter ancestry. All 4 pairs are geared towards tracking down and predicting movements of prey. Sophisticated and keenly developed sensitivity to movement and light have made Yogg's masters reading body language regardless of the species. Much of their short-lived chagrin, the Council's first contact teams discovered it was nearly impossible to launch with the Yogg. The Yogg had technology equivalent to the 20th century Earth standards, and they were discovered in the Council by Newfoundland. The ambassadors approached them as friends and allies instead of subordinate, a baffling sign of contempt for the newcomers on Karnak. The Yogg attacked when it became apparent the Adamant, the only difference settlement considered themselves sovereign people instead of new underlings, and Karnak remains off limits by order of the Council, which fears that the Yogg's size, aggression, and obsession with control makes them poorly suited for the integration into the community. Sea levels have risen 2 meters in the last 200 years, and violent weather is common due to environmental change inflicted during the late 21st century. During the past few decades, however, there has been significant improvement due to recent technological advances. Unfortunate revisions have not progressed beyond the 20th century technology, and often smog-choked overpopulated smog. We gotta get here. Let's see. First Contact War was definitely discussed in the first game. This was also talked about in the first one. Anything new? Yep. I believe this was also talked about in the first one. That was talked about in the first one. This was absolutely talking about the first one. I think this one was, but these are pretty FNG. Who can use that? I don't know that one. But the rest of these are pretty. You could argue that what's a situation is more logical than sit back. But that's please hear it. Alright. This was used in the first one. Vocational pet system priced by superior path of all serving criminal MVC consists of one letter and a number. indicates proficiency, not rank, and letter connects career path. The number indicates level of experience. As indicated by service record, the technical score is in combination. All 26 letters are used. Numbers run from 1 to 7. N is the letter code for special forces. Terraform Party. That was in the first one as well. As was this. Alright. Easy peasy. Oh wait, here, there's a couple new ones. So, Doshamal, Eat the Colony, that's where the Shepherd's story more or less starts, or where his like big point of origin story is. Retaliation for the Skylian Bits, the Alliance fleet wipes out an army of slavers on the moon of Bafan. It's led by Rogue Spectre, Saren, attacked Citadel, ensuing battle, cost 1,000 alive. A few weeks later, the SSV Hermes ambition destroyed. Commander Shepard is presumed dead. It's currently 2195. This one too is definitely talked about in there. Let's see. Where's those names? I don't think those were. Still surrounded by a blue-tinted reflective nebula. The light of the nebula is actually light from the Citadel, scattered and reflected back to the station. At first, the Serpent Nebula was assumed to be made of microscopic construction debris. Prevailing theory holds that the Protheans used molecular nanotechnology to manufacture incredibly durable materials using Citadel. But unlike other nebulae, the Serpent does not dissipate over time, therefore it must be replenished constantly. The current popular theory is that the non-recyclable waste now collected by the Citadel's keepers is somehow rendered down to an atomic or molecular level and ejected into a cloud. The thick nebula represents a navigation hazard. Beyond the relatively clear areas around the Citadel, electrical discharges are common. These are not blocked by kinetic barriers. Severely damaged metal-framed starships. In addition, some dense knots of dust can overwhelm the repulsion of kinetic barriers. On smaller ships, if such a vessel is moving fast enough at the time, effects are similar to being hit by a sandblaster. Attempting to reach the Citadel through open space, navigation is unadvisable. The only safe approach is through the various mass relays. This was definitely wrong. Wards was definitely wrong. Pretty effectiveness and also, due to the destructive potential of dreadnoughts, the Council races agreed with Captain Naval Conference to fix a ratio of dreadnoughts. Oh no, this was new. Historians have the most, then yeah. Below here. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Is that everything? Have you actually got it? Oh, beautiful. Okay. It's nice. It's nice when the codex is all red. I don't like it. Alright, so I'll end this one here. And then, the next one will start the action. Fish.